With a history steeped in mystery and intrigue, let's take a look at Broadmoor Hospital and some of its most infamous residents. Located in the Berkshire countryside, Broadmoor Hospital for the Criminally Insane was originally dubbed Broadmoor Criminal Lunatic Asylum. Completion on the main building happened in 1863 and covered 53 acres within the secure perimeter. Broadmoor's first patient was admitted on the 27th of May 1863, a female admitted for infanticide. By 1868 there were 5 blocks in total, 4 male and 1 female, although it is now purely just for male residents. The Victorians were very proud of their innovations when it came to treating mentally ill. Before this period, mentally ill people were abandoned in places such as Bedlam in London, chained up and left in their own filth, subjected to barbaric procedures like bloodletting and purging. The new philosophy was to treat insanity morally. It is known as domestication of insanity, and an emphasis was placed on kindness and patience. They would use recreational activities like reading, painting, and games to divert the patient's minds. The difference with Broadmoor, of course, was the residents themselves. These were no ordinary lunatics or unfortunates for society. These were the criminally insane, and so Broadmoor would have to act as both hospital and prison. During World War I, Block 1 was actually used as a POW camp for mentally ill German soldiers. Today, Broadmoor uses psychiatric medication and psychotherapy as well as occupational therapy in its treatments. The patients are still encouraged to paint, much like in the Victorian model. Now let's take a look at some of the residents that have called Broadmoor home over the years. Peter Bryan, an English serial killer and cannibal who committed 3 murders between 1993 and 2004. He suffers from schizophrenia. Richard Dadd was an English painter during the Victorian era. He killed his own father with a knife under the delusion that his dad was the devil. He went on the run to France, but he attempted to kill a fellow passenger with a razor. So he was apprehended. He was first admitted to Bethlem, otherwise known as Bedlam Hospital. He probably had paranoid schizophrenia, as 2 of his siblings had already been diagnosed. He painted many masterpieces whilst at Broadmoor. He died in 1886 of lung disease. Ronald Cray was one half of the infamous Cray twins. These were gangsters who ran London's East End. I will make a separate video on the Cray twins as there is a lot to talk about. Peter Sutcliffe, otherwise known as the Yorkshire Ripper, was found guilty of murdering 13 women and attempting to murder a further 7 between 1975 and 1980. He was transferred to Broadmoor in 1984 after being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. In 2016, he was declared fit to return to prison, so he was sent to Franklin Prison in Durham. He died in 2020, diagnosed with COVID-19. Charles Bronson is known as Britain's most violent prisoner. Charles has spent time at all 3 of Britain's prison psychiatric hospitals. A film of his life came out in 2008 starring Tom Hardy, and I can highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It is a brilliant film. John Stratham, infamous for escaping Broadmoor and murdering a local girl in 1952. Convicted child killer Stratham managed to scale the 10-foot wall and make his way to the nearby village of Farley Hill. There he found 5-year-old Linda Bauer riding her bike. Her body was found the next morning. When police caught up to Stratham, they asked him if he'd committed any crime whilst he was out, to which he replied, "I didn't kill her. I didn't kill the little girl on the bicycle." Since that escape and murder, Broadmoor has put extra security systems in place. There is a siren system in effect in case of an escape to warn the nearby communities. They also have internet alerts and a second security fence to keep the residents inside. And that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to comment down below if you have any more suggestions on cases you'd like me to cover.